In this video, we'll discuss about the WBCs. WBCs are also known as white blood cells, and the another name that we give to WBCs is called leukocytes. Leukocytes. So this is the another name that we give to the WBCs or white blood cells, that is leukocytes. RBCs are known as erythrocytes, and white WBCs are also known as leukocytes. Now, the leukocytes, their nucleus can be round or irregular. So, nucleus or even the cell, it is round or irregular shape of the cell. In red blood cells or erythrocytes, we saw that their shape is biconcave. They are biconcave in shape. Here in WBCs, they don't have a specific shape. They are just round or irregular in shape. And they are not pigmented. They have show the absence of the pigments. In red blood cells, we know that there is hemoglobin in it, but in WBCs there are no pigments. They are just like they are not like red. In case of the RBCs, they are in red color and they are biconcave in shape, but WBCs are like colorless or white in color. Now, the size of the RBC, the size of the WBC size is around 8 to 20 micron. We saw that in RBCs the size is around 7 to 8 microns, but in WBCs it's a bit large, they are very big, so it's around 8 to 20 microns. Now the number is, there are 6,000 to 10,000 to 10,000 of these WBCs in a cubic millimeter cube. So it's way less than RBCs. So in RBCs we saw that there are around 5 to 6 million of these RBCs per cubic millimeter, but in case of WBCs it's a bit less. They are just 6,000 to 10,000 of them are there in a cubic millimeter. Now this the count of WBC is known as TLC, or total leukocyte count. TLC or total leukocytes count. So this is the TLC. So if we take a ratio between RBC and WBC, if we say for example there are 600 RBCs, are there. In 600 RBCs there would be only one WBC. So there would be only one WBC. So the WBCs are very less in number as compared to RBC. We are just taking this ratio to compare the number between RBCs and WBCs. Now, coming to the nucleus. These WBCs are nucleated. First of all, they are nucleated. RBCs are enucleated, but WBCs are nucleated. They have nucleus, and the shape of the nucleus is different in different kinds of these WBCs. We will also look at the types of WBCs on the basis of granules and all other things. But we have to know that WBCs are nucleated, and the shapes of these nuclei can be different in different kinds of the WBCs. And because they are nucleated, because of the different forms of the nucleus, different shapes and sizes of the nucleus, these leukocytes are also known as polymorphonuclear leukocytes. Polymorphonuclear leukocytes. So poly means many, morpho means form, so many forms of this nucleus, and nuclear leukocytes, WBCs. So these WBCs have a nucleus with lots of different shapes and sizes. Now, the site of production of these WBCs is bone marrow, lymph nodes, and spleen. Bone marrow, we know that double RBCs are produced in bone marrow, and WBCs are also produced in the bone marrow. Lymph nodes as well as spleen. In RBCs, we saw that RBCs are destroyed in spleen. That's why spleen is also known as the blood bank or the graveyard for the RBCs. But in case of WBCs, they are produced in the spleen as well. So this is just some differences between RBCs and WBCs. Now, the WBC formation or the production of WBCs is also known as leukocytosis or leukopoiesis. Leukopoiesis. The production of RBCs is known as erythropoiesis. Here the production of WBCs is known as leukopoiesis. Now, increase in TLC. This TLC, total leukocyte count, when the total leukocyte count is increased, then it leads to a condition called as leukocytosis. Leukocytosis is the term that we give to when there is an increase in the total leukocyte count or TLC. Decrease in TLC. Decrease in TLC is leads to the condition called as leukopenia. So these are two different terms that we need to understand. Leukocytosis is increase in TLC. Leukopenia is decrease in TLC. Leuko means something related to the leukocytes, that is the WBCs. That's why here also we have seen leuko, and here as well polymorphonuclear leukocytes, and here as well leukopoiesis, leukocytosis, leukopenia. Now there is another property, another special property that's shown by these leukocytes, that is known as dipediasis. Dipediasis is a special property which is shown by the WBCs. Dipediasis is when the WBCs squeeze out of capillaries. It is when WBCs squeeze out of capillaries to fight the infections or the diseases. So squeeze out of capillaries. We know that the function of WBCs is the making of antibodies. So they provide defense mechanism for the body. That's why to fight the infections and the diseases, they sometimes squeeze out of the capillaries, and this is known as the dipediasis. This is also a very important term. So this is one special property which is shown by the WBCs. Now we will take a look at the types of these WBCs. So now let's take a look at the types. Now WBCs can be divided into two categories on the basis of the presence of granules in the cytoplasm. If the granules are present, they are known as granulocytes. So if granules are present, they are known as granulocytes. If granules are absent or not present, they are known as granulocytes. So granulocytes and agranulocytes. Now, granulocytes means granules are present in the cytoplasm. Agranulocytes means there are no granules which are present. The granulocytes can be divided into three categories. Again, into three categories on the basis of their function, the shape of the nucleus, and all the things. The first one is known as acidophils, or they're also known as eosinophils. The second one is known as basophils. The third one is what we call as neutrophils. And on the same basis, agranulocytes are also divided into two categories. The first one is monocytes and lymphocytes. Now, acidophils or eosinophils, these are bilobed. So, they have bilobed nucleus. That means the nucleus has two lobes. This is very important. The difference between acidophils, basophils and neutrophils is the nucleus, the shape of the nucleus. In acidophils, they are bilobed. They have a bilobed nucleus. Basophils have a three-lobed nucleus or S-shaped nucleus. This is also what we call. So basophils have a S-shaped nucleus or three-lobed nucleus. Neutrophils has multi-lobed nucleus. Multi-lobed nucleus. The acidophils or eosinophils, their main function is wound healing. Wound healing or antibody formation. So here we are talking about the functions. So wound healing, they help in wound healing, or they actually produce the antibodies, antibody formation. Anti-allergic, we can tell that also. Basophils, they produce histamine and heparin. Heparin is an anticoagulant. We have already seen that. So heparin is also present in the blood. So the basophils, they produce these two things, histamine and heparin. Neutrophils have a multi-lobed nucleus and they act as phagocytes. Phagocytosis. What is phagocytosis? Phagocytosis is the process where the cell engulfs the foreign particle. So phagocytes are the ones which engulf. They, like, it's the cell eating. Pinocytosis is cell drinking, but here we are talking about phagocytosis or phagocytes. They eat or they engulf the foreign particle. Coming to agranulocytes, we have monocytes and lymphocytes. Now, the monocytes have a rounded nucleus. Round nucleus. They don't have any lobes, but just simple round nucleus. Whereas the lymphocytes have a kidney-shaped nucleus. It looks somewhat like a kidney or a bean-shaped nucleus. Monocytes, they the function is antibody formation. Antibody formation. So they help in the formation of antibodies. Coming to the lymphocytes, that they have kidney shaped nucleus, they also act as phagocytes or scavengers. Scavengers also mean like engulfing foreign particles. So here we looked at the different types of WBCs, and this is the little flow chart that can help us differentiate between acidophils, basophils, neutrophils, monocytes and lymphocytes. Some things about these, all of the different types of WBCs. So in this video we discussed about some things about WBCs, and also we looked at the types of the WBCs.